You didn't say yes when you said you were tired.
Yes.
Now I'm mad at you. Not you, Lizzie. That was at Juliana. Please don't.
Happy birthday, Lizzie!
Everybody tell Lizzie happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, that was pretty weak, but we all wish you happy birthday.
You know I love you, Lizzie. You know
All right.
just tell me.
Page. We're on page 341 to 345, the lecture. All right, so everybody get out your notes so you can write this stuff down. Okay. All right, surface area. Okay, surface area. And we're talking please. And we're talking please. Surface area. There is an equation. Now remember, all the list of equations that I've been doing for you, I write them on the board. Why do I write them on the board? So that you guys have them. You need that note card. If you have that note card, today's lesson will go better than if you don't have it out. Okay? So, you'll need those to be able to do what we're doing. Okay? So, when we talk about surface area, first off, what does surface area sound like to you? When you think of surface area, what do you think of? Area of a surface. What does that mean? Okay, does it mean is it just meaning just this?
Yeah.
Well, it is that, but it's more than that, most likely, okay? Because when we're talking about surface area, it's not just a one wall or one rectangle. It's going to be a whole device. So for instance, if we have this is what would this be called? A cylinder. We have a top, a bottom, and we have around the side, right? So surface area, by the way, surface area includes the top, the bottom, and everything here. Does that make sense? All this, all the way around. Okay, so another type of surface area is based on what? The cylinder. Okay, so today's lesson is going to entail cylinders and prisms. Okay, cylinders and prisms. This is a prism. Why is this a prism? Remember, what's the definition of a prism? It's a 3D box. What is it? It had a polygonal base, remember? Polygonal base and a height, right? Two polygonal bases and heights. How many bases did it have? Remember? Two. Cylinder has how many bases?
2.
Does everybody follow? You got to remember that. That's important. Okay, so when we talk about surface area, the equation, surface area, all right, is L plus 2 capital B. And I'll explain this. All right? This is not... All right, so that's the equation. Like if you just say, give me the standard surface area equation, that would be what it is. What does L represent? L is the lateral part of this. Okay? So watch. Everybody look up here. What is the lateral part of this surface area? Of this surface or this cylinder? Yes. What do you think it is? Would it be this? Would it be this? It would be whatever this is, right? So watch carefully. What shape does it make? A square or a rectangle? Okay, now, how do I get that measurement? This is the L. This is the lateral surface area. L is lateral surface area. The L represents lateral surface area. So class, how would I find the area of this right here? Height, right? Base times height, right? If it's a rectangle, most likely it is. Okay, now watch. This is the cool part. What is... my hands are not very good today. Here we go. Listen carefully. What is the distance? What is the distance of that side when I unroll it? Somebody tell me, what is the distance? Thank you, circumference. So its circumference of the circle is what, when you take it off, is what this distance is. Does that make sense? Is everybody following? On a cylinder, the circumference is this distance. If I were to wrap it back up, that's a circumference. Like a bike tire, when you roll a bike tire, that's circumference. That's what this is. So it's circumference. So when it's a cylinder, it's circumference by the height. Okay, which is, this is the base, remember? Base times height. Okay, but it's specific. So when we're talking about it, so here's why this is important. This is the general equation. But when we're doing a cylinder, now watch carefully, everybody look. When we're doing a cylinder, what you're going to do, the lateral surface area is what? Watch. Circumference. What's the equation for circumference? Circumference times height. What is the equation for circumference? Please tell me. Base times, or pi times diameter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if I have the height and I have the radius, I can solve. Does that make sense to everybody? So here's the thing. You memorize this, and then when you go to use it, you plug in the appropriate equation that you need. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody following me? Yes?
So how often will you use the original compared to like?
The original every time. And then depending on what equation you're solving for, depends on what you use. Now, so that's what L stands for. We'll do problems. I'm just giving you the basics so you understand. And then we'll do some problems and hopefully it'll help you. Okay? So now, L represents lateral surface area. What does the capital letter B represent? What do you think that is? First off, what is it? How many bases? Good. So let me ask you a question. If I'm looking for surface area, okay, look up here. If I'm looking for surface area, this is the lateral surface area. What is this going to be? We need the what? What do we need? Areas. So what is this? What shape is this? Circle. So what equation will I put in if I'm solving for a cylinder? What's the equation for the area of a base? Pi r squared. Is everybody following me? So what you need to remember is the B represents the area of the base. If you write these three things down, that's the notes. That's the notes for today. Now we'll do problems. Because once you know that, I gave you an illustration of this so that you can see it visually. Now we're going to do some problems. Anybody have any questions so far? Up to this point, are you good? You have the notes down? You understand what I mean? We will do problems, both cylinders and polygons, so don't worry.
Mr. Rosen, could you?
No, I can't. Call Philly Special. Yeah, what's up?
Could you rewrite what the other formula was that you erased?
L. What L represented? This L. This L.
Yes.
L was circumference times height, which converts to, and we'll do this, pi d height, or 2 pi r height. Either one of those. I'll show you in a second. I will show you all this again. This is just so you have an idea what you're looking to do. Okay. All right. Any questions up to this point? Is everybody good? Okay. You have the notes down. Now we can go from there. Okay. All right. On your note card, you need to have this basic equation, and now from there you can plug and chug. Okay. All right. Here we go. Plug and chug. Chuka. I just like doing that. All right. Have a little fun, Mike. Just have a little fun, man. Have a little fun. It's all right. Fun is good. All right. Here we go. All right. So here's my first cylinder. Yes.
What's the circumference on the bottom is less than the circumference?
It isn't, because it's a regular cylinder. You can't do anything about that. All right, so watch carefully. So, surface area. So we start with this equation. Start with our general equation. Now watch. Lateral, so we're dealing with what? What shape are we dealing with? A circle. It's a cylinder, so my L, now watch, I would write this equation down. Now, what's my L equation? My lateral surface area, because it's a circle, remember, what's the distance around going to be? 2 pi r. Everybody agree with that? Does everybody agree that that's what the surface distance around is? 2 pi r. Yes or no? What's this again? My height. Plus 2, and now what's my area of a base? What shape is my base? Circle. So what's the equation for area of the base? Okay, so that's the hard part. Now the easy part comes. Okay, yes?
So when you're doing like the L, doesn't like d pi and 2 pi, they're the same. Is there an easier one to
That's
use?
it. That's the easiest one for this. We'll talk about a polygon in a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would do 2 pi r, and here's the reason. Listen carefully. Because most likely they're going to give you the radius because you need the radius here. Okay? That's the reason. So I always use that one because it's just I know it's a shortcut. So instead of having to multiply by 2 at the end. All right, so now here we go. What's my radius? So all I have to do is go back in here. So 2 pi, my radius is what?
5.
What's my height?
10.
Plus 2 pi, and my radius is what?
5.
Okay, so now I'm basically done. See, once you have this equation, this is pretty simple, right? So what is my answer? 2 times 5 is?
10.
10 times 10 is?
100.
100 pi, right?
10 times
10. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. And a pi, right? And then 5 times 5 is what?
25.
25 times 2 is?
50.
So what's my final answer, guys?
155.
So you use
What?
R. You use a 2 pi r for the L and the B.
Yeah. Why did I do that? Because remember, 2 pi r is the same as what? Pi d. So I plugged in the one that I have the radius. Yeah. All right. Any questions on it? Does everybody make sense of this? That's how you would do that problem. Okay. And let's do another one. And by the way, you can memorize this right here. Cylinder. Because, by the way, that's always going to be for a cylinder. What I'm doing is giving you one general one that works for all of them. So you have that and you can always solve for it if you need to. This is what it would be every single time if you're doing a cylinder. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody good with that?
You always start with that.
You always start here and then work it to this. And I'll show you why you do that in about 3 seconds. Okay? You'll understand it when I do some problems on the other side. I just want to make sure that you get cylinders down first. All right, so look at this shape. Now it's a little more difficult. Let's say that this is a square. Let's just say it's a square for ease today. For ease. Say it's 10 and the height is 15. So it's 10 and 10, okay? And the height is 15. So it's like looking at this. Now watch, it's like looking at this. It would be like this is 10, this is 10, it is not. This is 10, and then this is the 15. Everybody got it? That's what you're looking at. 10 by 10, and then 15. Does that make sense? So, once again, we need the lateral surface area, which is the distance around this way. All of that. And then the two areas. So we start with our first equation, right up here. Surface area equals L plus 2B. Now, class, what is the equation for distance around this? No. What is the distance around?
Oh, S.
Sine squared.
Circles the circumference around the polygon. What is it? It's called the
Perimeter.
perimeter, which is, remember, we broke it down the other day. What's that equation?
S squared.
N times S.
Yes.
N, number of sides, times size of the side, or perimeter, right? Put perimeter here. Perimeter.